What's up, y'all? It's Brandon from Flesh and Blood Brothers back at you with a video. I'm reviewing all of Dynasty's cards now that we've kind of let it settle over the holiday. We got ProQuests all over the world this weekend, so we're getting ready and we're getting ramped up. So we're going to see what cards are kind of valid in the ProQuest season and what cards from Dynasty are kind of just on the back burner, waiting for more support or more pieces to the puzzle. So Rocket's cool, but I don't think there's like a really awesome rock build out there that's going to do some damage to the top decks in the format. Beaten Trackers was a good addition for Brutes. They're always discarding cards with 6 or more attack power. At least they build their deck to do so. So this is just a reliable action point from that, so you don't have to rely on rolling numbers on the Scab Skin Leathers. And it's got Battle Worn, so you can block one at any time throughout the game, and then when you're ready, you can destroy those and get your action point. So overall, I think that's very solid. Savage Beatdown also for the Brutes. They have one big, they just pluck this in their arsenal and wait for a Blood Rush Bellows turn, and this is going to come in for 14, if not more, if you have other buffs applied to it other than its own and Blood Rush Bellows. So yeah, great addition for the Brutes there. Skullcrack is another good card that is probably going to see some life here in Rhinar decks, because when it's discarded they gain a resource, so that's a pretty big win, and it's a cost 2, attack for 6, block 3. Berserk, there's a couple of Berserk builds in Blitz, but in competitive ProQuest Classic Constructed, I don't think Berserk is ready for that yet. Yeah, so the Brute's got a lot of ammo. I don't know if Rhinar is going to be a deck to beat in the format, but it's definitely got enough tools to do some damage. I like the addition of Buckle here for Guardians. +1 Dominate. Dominate's always good. And then you can destroy an equipment they have with a counter on it. So let's think of the format. Let's think of Rune Blades. We got the Bracers, the Arknight, the Grasp of the Arknight. So they have the counter on it. You can destroy the Grasp of the Arknight, so they can start making rune chants late game, and they lose out on a block. And +1 to Dominate's always good. You can combo this with other cards like Thump from Tales of Aria. Lots of cool things you can do with Buckle. Good addition for the Guardians there. All the shield stuff I think is great, but I think that's for another season. Ninja, we did get the Tiger combo pieces. I don't know if Cat Katsu is going to be a deck in this ProQuest meta. Cool, but yeah, I don't think it's quite ready. Spirit of Arena for Bolton gives him some life. He can play around Frost slightly better, but he's still very weak into Frost. And there's some there's some pretty interesting cheeky plays you can do by playing Lumina at instant speed. So yeah, not bad for Bolton there. Battle Axe needs more support. Daggers are cool. Dagger Dorinthia is a thing. Pretty fun deck to see around, but it's not. I think Dawnblade Door is still the one to look out for this ProQuest season. So Iron Song Pride is going to make a splash. Instant speed gives it that +1 to get your hit on Dawnblade for you to be able to swing a second time, and or on your second swing get your counter out of nowhere. So big fan of Iron Song Pride. Blessing of Steel is decent. But yeah, more axe support is needed. Dash got the Blaster, very good for extreme boost builds. They can get fatigued, but no resources for 5 damage every couple turns. Pretty darn good and reliable, and helps against fatigue a little bit. And of course, everyone's been talking about Pulse Weave Harpoon. It reveals the opponent's hand, some cards in their hands at least, and then you can kind of mess up their game plan, because they're setting up their own turn on your turn. So cool card. It's going to be included in most decks. I like Bio's update. I like the Nitro Mechanoid stuff. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Mechanoid deck in the ProQuests. They might go more traditional items routes for that. Who knows? But yeah, definitely some cool stuff there for Mechanologist. Assassin, I like Assassin a lot. I got the Black Tech Whispers. They're a great piece of equipment. I think overall Assassin just needs a little bit more. Eradicate is amazing. If you can buff this and do some damage, you're really going to cripple some opponent's strategies. So the wild card about Arachne is, you know, people say, oh, his attacks are weak and blah, 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 but they do banish cards off the top of the deck. And if you banish certain key cards against certain heroes, that can really swing the game in your favor. You're thinking about the long game. You're thinking about better hands over time. So if you can make their late game hands very bad and their power cards are banished from the game, I think that gives you a big edge. But overall, I think Assassin just needs a little bit more. Coming up in Outsiders, I think Arachne will be very cool after ProQuest season. Archer, or Ranger, I can't really speak too much to Ranger. I have no experience, but I've heard Drill Shot is good. Obviously, putting -1 counter on equipment. If something has temper, you can break it, shatter it, like the Findale Spring Tunic. So that's definitely a good card. I think they got the strongest blessing. Mostly Azalea's going to benefit from this greatly, but I think they got the strongest blessing of all the classes. So there's some good stuff there. Runeblade, I like Cryptic Crossing. I've played it in my deck a few times. For the ProQuest, I'm going to take it out and go a different route, but definitely a cool card. Looming Doom, also a cool card. Very solid, not attack action or non-attack action. Blue block 3, very, very solid. Yeah, good to just kind of chip away a little bit, get 2 value out of a rune chant instead of 1. Deathly Duet's a good card. I like it in red and I like it in blue. It's just very flexible. Sometimes you can even get both effects and leave some floating, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah. Runeblade got a little splash, nothing too major. Wizard, I love Kano. Kano's always sleeved up and ready to go. I do like Mind Warp. I can see finding room for 1, maybe more, but 1 is definitely fun. You know, if you do more than 2 damage, they can shuffle their hand in their deck and draw 1 less. So the hyper aggro decks can kind of slow down a beat right there. Swell Tidings, you just got a 2 for 5 to replace Voltic Bolt with more text on it, the Ponder token possibility. Aether Quickening, a 1 for 4, blue 1 for 2. Prognosticates a new 0 for 1. Sap is another new 0 for 1. So just some cheaper blues to throw in the combo deck is what I'm messing with. Illusionist, you know, that ally is going to be very, very cool once Aladdin Illusionist enters Classic Constructed play. The cold foil double side is going for quite a lot online, probably like $300 to $500. It's something crazy right now. I like the ward stuff. They're setting up something cool. Blessing of Spirits is good. 3 Spectral Shields out of nowhere is nice. So they're setting up for the future for Illusionist. Looks good there. Crown of Dominion, the royal builds are popping up now. We got like a Royal Viceroy, a Royal Briar. I heard Royal Bravo is floating around on Twitter. So we'll see about that. I do like the royal items. They're not overly strong, but they are pretty interesting. Imperial Edict can set up some nasty plays, and the Warhorn can get rid of some pesky board state. So I do like those, and I do like being able to run gold and cash in with the crown. And of course, Command and Conquer. If I ever get my hands on this, that'd be really sweet. But yeah, love it. So Dynasty brought us, you know, a little splash to Classic Constructed. So we're getting ready for CC ProQuest this weekend. I'm going to be rocking Viserai. I got a interesting build, a kind of flexible hybrid game plan. Shout out to people on Twitter who have been following along and sharing their Viserai notes with me. So yeah, I just wanted to get this video out to you guys before ProQuest season, and I'll have a couple of deck techs coming your way. I got a Kano for Dummies video coming, and I have a Viserai hybrid rune chant / true mid-range kind of build. So look out for those, and good luck at your ProQuest this weekend. I'll be participating Saturday as well as my brother Tommy. the Flesh and Blood brothers will be reunited in the flesh, playing Flesh and Blood, doing what we do best, or like to do the most, I guess. But yeah, we'll be good someday, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.